So as I said in the other video, the glutes not firing isn't really the issue. It isn't the issue. It's simply down to more that your glutes are not strong enough, or generally you're not strong enough, and you've exceeded your ability to adapt to your training load. So you've just pushed yourself further and further and further, and you've been going along fine, and then now you're just not adapting to it. There's not enough recovery because the components of it aren't all fitting together now. So you've exceeded your ability to adapt to what you're doing in training. With regards to the glutes, they're just now no longer strong enough to maintain the stability of the torso, and you're moving around more, and it's these kind of things that you're starting to notice. There's stiffness in the glutes, maybe some pain around the hip, around the greater trochanter where they're inserting, just because they are so tired and tight all the time. When you're walking, as I say, there isn't a lot of activity in the glutes. They do just enough to keep you upright, and that's pretty much it. But as soon as you start running, this really ramps up, and on foot contact, all three of the gluteals contract harder than you could do on a voluntary basis. So as soon as your foot hits the ground, there's a massive contraction in all three glutes to stabilize you, to stop you from falling sideways and help control the leg. Now, at sort of lowest when you're running, the sort of peak loads coming up through the leg are about 3 times body weight, but as you go faster, this actually increases. But around about 3 is what you're sort of looking at, and heading towards 8 and 9 when you're sprinting. So how do you get them stronger? It's pretty simple. I mean, you can throw clamshells and straight leg raises and side planks or anything like that. Not so much out the window as something that will to some degree get you stronger, but they're not going to do it in terms of really making a massive difference to the strength of your glutes. You're really actually going to have to engage in a proper strength training program that involves squats, lunges, deadlifts, all the exercises that you tend not to associate with running, but can have a massive impact on you. If we look at some historical examples of people that have used strength training as part of a high-level running program, Percy Cerruti in the 50s and 60s was a real proponent of it, and he coached the 1500 metre Olympic winner Herb Elliott to the 1960 Olympics gold, and as part of his system he insisted on a double bodyweight deadlift as being the goal for all his runners. Not something that they had to do straight away, but something that there was to aim for. Seb Coe made a huge use of strength training through his training, and quite possibly the biggest difference in Mo Farah when he went across and started training with Alberto Salazar is the fact that he actually made him do some strength training. So he went from a weak, pretty good runner, but a weak runner, to a much stronger runner, much more powerful runner. Now let's forget all the possible sort of drug connotations and everything that are going on. He added strength training into his routine and made him a stronger runner, a much more efficient runner, and he regularly squats at 1.5 times body weight for reps through the year. The inclusion of strength training has a massive impact on your sort of injury reduction, in that it can reduce your injury chances by about 70%. There's an article in the BJSM a wee while ago about that, where they looked at it, and in comparison to those that didn't include strength training in the routine, the use of it really sees a significant drop in injury rates. But with regards to your glutes, actually just making them stronger essentially builds up a capacity for them to tolerate the activity that you're trying to do, and to basically keep you within that zone that they're not fatiguing in the same manner that they were prior to it. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be hugely strong. Whilst 2 times bodyweight deadlift may sound huge, if you're a 60 to 70 kilo runner, it's not massive in the grand scheme of things, and won't detrimentally impact the rest of your training goals. Otherwise there'd be no point in including it. And it's not that you have to get to that, but it's something to aim for, to make sure that you will be stronger right through your body. Never mind your glutes, but your legs will be stronger, the glutes will be stronger, the torso will be stronger. And it will make you more resilient. But if we come back to the glutes again, just simply, improving their capacity so that they're always operating below max. Means that they don't fatigue out as quickly when you're running. Their ability to stabilize your torso is dramatically improved and aids much more efficient running. So, really, forget about clamshells and glute bridges and what have you. You can do them in your warm-ups, but if you really want to get strong, deadlifts, squats, lunges are the way to go.